Hello there, I'm Thomas Taplin and welcome to the weekly wrap-up, a rundown of events that may or may not have affected the markets over the last 5 days. Joining me on the line is FX analyst at Unicredit in Munich in Germany, Markus Malter. Markus, thanks very much for joining me today. Take us through the week if you could. On Monday and Tuesday we saw China and US manufacturing data. What were your initial reactions to the data and how did the markets react?
Interesting was that we had a lot of interest for our customer side that want to sell dollars at these levels we saw at Wednesday and Tuesday and Wednesday time. So at around 1.28 and 1.7050, we had lots of interests of customers who want to make hedges on the euro-dollar side. And this wasn't interesting, and I was a little bit surprised that they do this in this way. On the other hand, if you see the forward going during the end of the week, it was the right way they did, and it was a good decision to deal this in this way. And yes, that was in the Tuesday and Wednesday. For me, it's surprising days.
And what was the reason or reasons behind this?
I think the European, also our German customers think that euro is right valued at around between 130 and 135. And exporters who sell goods to US and abroad, they take these rates. We have now these really low rates to make the hedges because they think that the economic developments will go on more positively during the year in Europe compared to US.
As we went through the week, there was anticipation of a big move by the Bank of Japan. In fact, this week has been packed with central bank rate decisions. We saw a change in monetary policy by the BOJ, but the same couldn't be said for either the Bank of England or the European Central Bank. Is that what you were expecting from the BOJ?
If I'm honest, I'm not very surprised about that, because Japan has the same problem. Let's say the same problems as U.S. markets also, and U.S. Federal Reserve. They have to float the market with money and with cheap money to hold the economy on a little basis and will not went further down. And so I was not surprised about this.
Today is obviously NFP Friday. There's been a lot of positive comments made in recent weeks about the US economy, but some analysts I've been speaking to have told me it's too soon to say and they don't actually know where growth in the US is coming from. What are your thoughts on this, and what do you expect from the US dollar in the coming weeks?
My expectation is that we will see a weaker dollar against euro, so a stronger euro against dollars, with in the next 2 weeks levels at the highest at 1.32, 1.3170 in this range. And the reason for that is that it's the same that you said before. It's too early to see where the growth in US come from, and if it's strong enough to hold through the whole year. We have to consider that the demand is from the private sector mainly, and it depends on the low interest rates, and maybe the banks in US are starting more and more to be more risky and not so risk averse since the last year, and give out more consumer credits also and consumer loans. I think this evening we see the consumer loan. We will see it for February. It's slightly moved down to 15 billion, I think, but it's also on a good and a strong level again. And that's it. It's a lot of credit financed business, and I'm not sure that it will hold through the whole year. And therefore, I'll be very careful, and I think also the market will escalate this and see that the euro dollar will go up again and buy mainly the euros in this way.
Finally, Markus, what's been your highlight or surprise of the week?
For my line of work, the surprising and therefore the biggest highlight was the yesterday statements from Draghi. He said not very much about the actual situation, in my opinion, but the market and the market movements did a lot in this 1-2 hours when he spoke, and that shows me the market is very actual, not very sure where is the economy development better and where are the higher risks in US or in Euroland. But in the end, we saw that the move down at 1.27, 1.2750 was too much, and so we see the correction. That was for me surprising that we have so a high volatility in these 2 hours when Draghi spoke, and it shows me that there is no clearly upward and no downward trend actual. And in my opinion, I said it before, is that we see the 1.30 a little stronger euro again.
Thanks for that. That's it for the weekly wrap-up this week. Do stay tuned, though, for further updates and analysis here on Dukascopy TV. Of course, the weekly wrap-up will return again at the end of next week. But for now, from me, have yourself a great weekend. Goodbye.